All right, good evening and welcome to the nursery for Tucker's Pond and predatory plants. Wanted to just let you guys know, if you're really interested in predatory plants and you're just beginning, this is the time of year that you can find Venus flytraps and some, pitcher plants, things along those lines at your local Home Depot or Lowe store. So these I picked up, and I wouldn't often buy these from Home Depot or Lowe's. They're not always the best quality, and a lot of these things, they go to die. I've heard these things called death cubes because they just kill the plants. But this time of year, this big one right here, it sells for about $10, I think. And I haven't opened it up. I've never bought one before. Let me pull it down here where you can see a little bit better underneath the light. So it says that there's a Venus flytrap and a pitcher plant in there. Now, if they've done their work properly, these things are still dormant, and you can ship the dormant rhizomes and they'll be okay for a little while. Looks like there's some moisture inside there. So we're going to open this up in a few minutes. I'll leave it right down here, come back up top. I've got a few of these Venus flytraps, and when I'm picking them out, I'm looking for a few things. When you look at this first one right here, back in there, that is a brand new trap, and it's throwing that one up pretty high. So that one looks like it should be a little bit healthy. We move over here, you got the same thing sitting back there. You come over here to this one, you got the same thing over here, but there is a lot of dead. So we're going to open up one of these fly traps. I'm going to show you, how I'm going to take care of it, and we're going to open up this pitcher plant and see what we got in here, because I've never done one of these. So give me a minute, and I'll be right back after I get these things open, and we'll talk a little bit more about them. All right. All right. Welcome back. So I've unboxed the pitcher plant and the fly trap, and the pitcher plant came with this bag right here, and this is inside it, and it's supposed to hold a bare root Sarracenia and a bare root Venus flytrap. And after going through this mess for a few minutes, we found that bare root. It is moist, so hopefully it should still be alive. And we found that pitiful little bare root. So I believe this is the Venus flytrap, and I believe that this is the Sarracenia pitcher plant. So we've got that. They gave us some sphagnum moss, and they gave us some media to plant them in. Now I'm going to take this and I'm going to toss it aside. So I've got back here a mixture of planting media that I use. It's a 50% peat moss or peat substrate and a 50% perlite, and I've filled up the pot right here with it. So we're going to go ahead and take the pitcher plant, roots down, and it's really hard to tell if you don't know what you're looking at, but these are the roots, so they're going to go down. And right there should be the growing point crown. So we're going to go ahead and take that. Getting me a little bit bigger of a hole here. Now this 50% peat, 50% perlite mix is already moist. I pre-moisten it. That's what I have back there. It's wet. It's ready to go. So I'm going to go ahead and put this in the pot, sitting right there. I normally wouldn't put both of these plants in the same pot, but it's not like they're anything substantial, right? So we're going to go ahead and put that one in. That's a little bit too deep of a hole. And we want that growing point. Sorry about the camera work here. Doing this one-handed. We're going to go ahead and put that in there and leave that above. All right, so trying to get all this planted in there. The next step is I am going to take their moss, and I'm going to put it on top. So I'll do that here in a few minutes. Now, that is the Venus flytrap that came out. So looking at that, there's a few things that we have to do. So all the dead is going to have to come off. All right, so I've got my scissors here, and we're going to work on taking that out. But let me see if I can get this camera to stand up here for me. Maybe I can do this and show you how to get this going. But we're going to go ahead and take this, and we're going to get it out of the pot. All right, so go ahead and squeeze the pot at the bottom. Get it upside down. Yep. I really am going to have to learn how to do this better with one hand, or get me a stand to hold this thing. So it's packed in here tight. There's the plug. All right. So there's the plug. So we can now sit in here and get at this. Now, I do have my scissors, but these things are coming across pretty easy, coming apart. And I'm okay with taking this whole thing and all the peat moss off of it, because I don't want any of the dead stuff still sitting around that maybe could grow mold. And we're just going to go ahead and unwrap it and be a little gentle with it. These are a whole lot tougher than people think, but I don't want to tear the roots. So I got the roots sitting in here. Roots are these black little strings. So there's all there is to the Venus flytrap. So when you look at it, this rhizome, the white part right here, that's the rhizome, and that's the growing point. And then down here, these are the black roots. So that's what we've got. Now you can take that out real easy. And now we can go in underneath and we can pull and separate the dead. So let's see if I can do this with do this one-handed here. Again, just all the stuff that's here is black. It's all dead. And all it's going to do is potentially rot, grow mold, and we don't want any of that happening. All right, so much better, much better here. Not perfect. So now we need to plant that back up. All right. So again, we'll get all that out. I'm going to come back here to my mix. Again, it's already moist. We're going to fill that sucker up. All right, I'm going to remove a little bit of that trash that's in there. Put a hole down in the middle. Pretty good size hole. Want all those roots to go down in there. All right. Yeah, my camera work's not very good. I got to work on it. I'm sorry about that. All right, and then we're going to push the peat and the planting soil back all the way around it. Try to keep it out of the traps. I don't want to trigger them. These traps are only good for a limited number of times to close before they actually die. So we're going to go ahead again, tamp all that down. So, not bad. Again, I need to get a little bit deeper. And then what we're going to do is we're going to take this peat moss, the sphagnum moss, and we're going to plant it around. So again, I'm going to go ahead and put this on pause for a second. And then I'm going to put it around here. I'm going to put it around there. And then we'll show you what it looks like, and we'll be done for the day. All right, so I'll be back in a minute. All right, so I'm back, and I've got them finished potted up. So these are the two right here that we just did. This has in it the Sarracenia pitcher plant that came out of the box, and it also, which is right here, and back over underneath there is the Venus flytrap, a bare root. So if I was going to suggest to buy one of these two, I would stay away from this one. Just the bare roots in there, they look like they're seedlings. They probably shouldn't have been shipped, but we'll see what happens with this. Come back to the flytrap. That's, I mean, for the price, that was about, this one over here was about $10. Again, so I feel kind of ripped off with this one. This over here was $5 to $6, which is not a bad price. It's just a basic Venus flytrap. It's small. I don't have to pay shipping or anything along those lines. I picked it up at the store myself. It's actually in really good shape for being a bought at one of these big box stores. There is right here, let's see if I can get a better picture of it, is a brand new trap that's going to open up. So sitting right there. So it's got new growth on it. It looks so much better with all the dead off of it. It's already got traps open, as you can see again, you know, here and over there. So it's looking pretty darn good for what it is. Again, recommendation is right now stay away from the Sarracenia flytrap combo and go with the Venus flytrap. Again, if it's your first time buying, it's cheaper this way than anything else. If you can get it to live and you can keep it alive for a while, then you can then build up to some other plants that are a little bit more expensive. But again, the whole key to these, all right, is to keep them moist. We're sitting